Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my wrap-up video, and I am very happy because I feel like I finally broke out of my slump this week. I read one book early-ish in the month, and then this week I read 3 books, which... round of applause. I'm just gonna get into it and just share my thoughts on the books that I read. So early on in the month, I decided to start a Scribed account. Now, if you're not familiar with what Scribed is, it's basically a Netflix type of website where you listen to audiobooks, read ebooks, but I am not paying for it at all. I actually decided to use Riley Marie's, I'll have her channel linked down below. She always has a link on like her description of her videos where you can get 3 months free. Whereas if you just go to the website and sign up for their free trial, I think you only get like 2 weeks. So obviously the smartest choice was just to go through her referral link, and that's what I did. And I really like the website, except that they made some changes just last week, which I'm very upset about. But anyway, long story short, through there I decided to start an audiobook. If you're ever in a reading slump, listen to audiobooks wherever you can get your hands on them, whether it be through Overdrive or through websites like Scribed. It's really helpful because I found myself cleaning my room, cooking, or doing all these other things, and I still would be reading, and it got me in being really excited about reading again. At one point I just got really into it, and the audiobook was just too slow for me, so I actually picked up the book and physically read it. That book was The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater, and I loved it. I loved every moment of it. Basically, if you're into like really well-written characters, I really recommend this series because that is my favorite thing about the Raven cycle in general. Just the characters are so good. Even if there are other elements to the story, like there is a bit of magic and just other things that kind of surround the plot, the characters to me are what make this series really special, and I really like it. I think I ended up giving this like a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Following that, I decided to read this kind of on a whim. It has been on my TBR. It's one of the books that I really wanted to read, but I haven't picked it up, and then I saw that Christine from Christine Anderson, I will have a channel link down below. She's awesome. She's one of my favorite people, but she was posting stuff on Twitter regarding a character in this series, and it just sounded like my type of character. I'm attracted to the bad boys with a good heart. Let's not psychoanalyze that too much. The book that she was reading, I think it was Gathering Darkness, but I needed to start with book 1, so I finally picked up Falling Kingdoms by Rhodes. Such a good book. I actually also found myself listening mostly to the audiobook for this one. I got the audiobook off of Overdrive, and then for certain parts, like if I got really excited, I would go back in and like read some of them, or like put post-it notes and like scenes that I really enjoyed. I think I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. It had a lot of setup for the remainder of the series, but there's so much potential to the series. Again, the characters, none of them are like the good guy. There's this amazing quote that I found in here that I think really sums up the characters in this, in which it talks about kind of how even the baddest person has some good in them, even the like goodest, that's not a word, even the person who is good has some evil in them, and to the person who is doing evil things, to that person it's not, they're not doing evil, they're doing something good. Anyway, it sounded a lot better when Rhodes wrote it, okay? It's a really long quote. I really like this. And Magnus, I really like Magnus, and he is a misunderstood creature that I want to protect and slap across the face a couple times maybe, but I still want to protect him. He's just trying to do his best, and I like him, and I like Cleo as well. This is told from 4 different perspectives, well 5 I guess. There's 4 main protagonists, and then we get an extra point of view from time to time from another character. It is told from multiple perspectives, so you do get an idea of like the different kingdoms and the different points of view from these different people, because there are 3 different kingdoms that are going into war. So yeah, I really liked it. This is definitely moving over to my favorite shelf if I can find room. I'm gonna have to find room for it somewhere in here because I want this to be here. And then next up, I decided it was time to finally finish the Penryn and the End of Days trilogy, and this is the second and third book. I love them. You get so engrossed in the story that you kind of forget about everything else that's going on around you, and before you know it, like, you just don't realize how far you've gotten into the story. Or at least that's what happened to me. With the first book, I think I started reading it at like 11 p.m. I was just gonna read a few chapters before bed, and then before I knew it, it was like 5 in the morning and I had finished the book. And that happened with this book as well. It would have happened with this book, but I was just too tired from the night before, so I had to put it down halfway. It's not even that it's a perfect series. Like, there are certain flaws in it, particularly with this book. I do feel like it was very rushed. It felt like it was lacking for me. There was a lot of questions left unanswered, and just some things like kind of wrapped up a little bit too neatly for my liking. But even then, I had so much fun reading this series, or this trilogy, that I didn't really mind it as much as I probably should. I just really liked it. If you're in a slump, I highly recommend reading this series because it is so engrossing and you find yourself so immersed in the story and you just fall in love with Penryn and Raph. I love them together. I think I gave this 4.5, maybe a 4-star, and this, it should have been like a 3.5 because, like I said, the resolutions weren't all there, but my enjoyment for the book pushed the rating up a little bit and it became like a solid 4. And then last but not least, I have this is a little bit weird because I don't talk about this kind of stuff usually, but this is a favorite that I wanted to share. I didn't get the chance to do it in my previous 2 videos because they were really long and they were kind of very specific, but early on this month, Kitty from Kitbug's Art, she asked me if she could draw a like little portrait thing of me, and it's become like one of my favorite things in the world. Like, it's so cool and I really liked it, and I really wanted to share it with you guys. Like, if you follow me anywhere on the internet, you have seen it. I've used it everywhere because I really like it, and it is this little portrait. It's really weird pointing to something that's not there yet because I'm adding this after I edit. She put like books, she put Harry Potter, she put coffee, she put like all my little things that I really like, and I really liked it. She's super talented. I will have all her links down below if you guys are interested in checking her out. Thank you so much, Kitty. I really like it. I still need to find a frame for it because I want to frame it and just immortalize it forever. So that is it for this video. That is it for my wrap up. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! Today's video is going to be finally my bookshelf tour video.